Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to the third community call for Perpetual Protocol. It's really great to have you all here, and we're excited to share the pretty interesting topics we have today. They might be a little bit more technical, but I think we'll try and keep it the explanations such that everybody can understand. If you have more questions after the call, we will have a Q&A session, and of course, we always welcome any questions about anything we talked about in our Discord, so you're welcome to go there too. All right, so the first thing that we're going to cover is the current status of Perpetual Protocol. So for this section, we'll hand the microphone over to our founder, Yan-Wen. So go ahead.
Hi, everyone. Can we go to next slide? Sure. For this community call, we want to change the format a little bit. So we want to go into the challenge we have right now, and also, kind of like the next roadmap that we are working on right now. So the first thing is that I think all of you knows Perpetual well. So the trading volume wise, we did really well on the trading volume. So we are seeing like 30 million to 80 million daily trading volume per day. And so people keep trading here. I think that's a good thing. And the volume actually depends on the market count. So if we can launch more market, I think the volume goes down little by little, goes up little by little. So I think that's also something we know. But it's also, pretty much related to the, market situation. So like last week, there are a huge price movement. So we will have I don't remember which day, but there is a huge uptick on the trading volume. So I think that's something we know. And also the K, from the SYK model, the K, the higher the K, the large the transaction volume is. So that's something that we are going to address, in the future. So for certain market, we might want to increase the K or decrease the K, but we all know that increasing the K can increase the trading volume. So on the trading volume wise, next slide. On the user, on the user number, so you can see that for the rolling average daily traders, these are the traders who open at least one position in the platform. So we have around 100. I think that that's a number we have right now. We spend a lot of time, a lot of energy on trying to increase the number, try to acquire new users. But I think it'll be hard to us. We did airdrops, we did try to acquire users from a central exchange. But this several tactics didn't really go well. So I think the team will, keep pushing on this side. Hopefully we can, the retail users we think this is actually, very important to us for the growth. So that's something we want to work hard. Also on the right-hand side, there is the chart for the high frequency trader, which means that they trade probably, 10, they place 10 trades, over 10 trades per day, or some number around there. So you can see that we have 80% of the traders are, high frequency traders, so which means it's probably bots. When 20% are retail traders who place seldom place a trade. Yeah. So that's the users on our platform right now. Next slide. Pumping rate. this is, I think, the funding rate for the previous like 3 days. So it actually looks fine. But we have been, I mean, like there was a period that we have more like negative funding rate. So that's actually a problem to us. So I will explain more in the later slides, but right now it's actually fine. But I think we need more like traders. I mean, try to keep the funding as close to the index price. Actually, keep the market price as close to the index price, which means keep the funding rate lower. Yeah. So that's also a challenge. Yeah. Yeah. So next guy. Okay, so I think this is actually the major topic that I want to explain because there are, there are some like community member they asked about like the insurance fund. I think in general the insurance fund grows, but it kind of like hit the limit. I mean, actually above. I think we have been in this days like 1.5 million for a while. Of course, there are like different reasons that it goes down, but actually it's it kind of like we cannot keep it going up. I mean, so I think for this community code, that's something I want to explain because it's really hard to explain on Discord. So that's something I want to explain here. So hold on. So the insurance fund goes down. But from what we know, actually because of two things. The first thing is that the negative funding rate. For example, when the market actually goes down, I mean, like when there is a crash on the general market, it actually, I mean, like because lots of people might go short, so it actually has negative funding rate. So it actually creates problems to the whole system. So I will explain later. And the second reason is when the market goes down, especially not, not right at that time, but after it goes down, there might be a time that people are kind of like afraid that the market keep crashing, so they will, the trading volume actually decrease. So we got less income at this period. So if you look at the chart, so March 14th, actually, I think for the past 2 weeks, the market actually goes down. So that's actually why the insurance fund doesn't goes up, mainly because of this. Because the market actually turns bullish again, feels like that. So I would say that the insurance fund probably will, goes up after this week. So that's, but anyway, that's what we found. Next slide. So I want to explain that why the negative funding rate is actually an issue to us. So if you look at the slide here, so we are using the SYK model. I think most of people are familiar with this. And so if we start with point A, so point A is kind of like a little bit like offset, but the point A is where the bottom arrow point to. So when we start, so when we launch the market, so at any given time, the price is actually on the curve, right? So we start with A. And if the price actually goes up a lot, so kind of like move the price to B, which means that, on the right-hand side, so price goes up, means that we have more long open interest than short. When we start at A, we actually have equal long and short. But if the price goes up, we actually have more on the system. There are more long open interest than short open interest. So at the same time, I mean, like we design the virtual AM that the virtual AM doesn't really participate in the market. So the long open interest actually holds by the traders, and also traders like retails and also high frequency traders or like arbitragers. But at the funding payment, so when we pay funding every hour, we have this model that because insurance fund, not insurance, because the funding payment need to be, need to have the same amount of long and short. So insurance fund kind of like participate in the funding payment only. And then in this case, the insurance fund holds short position than long position. So this is something we already know before. I mean, like when we designed the protocol, but we actually have like kind of like made the system unstable when the price goes up a lot. So when we launched the protocol, the ETH actually is like 800 or like 700, but it actually goes up to like 1700 right now, right? So it actually goes up 2x and more. And because it goes up, then the more it goes up, the more long position traders have. And then that means the more short open position the insurance fund have when we pay funding. Because it has more short position, which means that once the funding rate is larger, especially in negative, it makes, the insurance fund actually pays out the funding payment, which makes the system unstable. Yeah, so that's actually why when the price actually goes down, we actually see that the insurance fund is bleeding. It is actually losing the funds. Next slide. So I think that's the major problem that we are facing right now. I think it's still in control because there are incentives for people to participate in the market, trying to, when there is a negative funding rate, people can do funding rate arbitrage. People have like other ways to to go into the market and take advantage of it. But I think that's still like the issue that we are working on right now. Yeah. So I hope this, clear like some of the doubts that people, kind of like question about like why the insurance fund cannot just keep goes up. I think it's really hard. No matter which model we are using right now. Anyway, so we designed the virtual AM. At the beginning, we tried to, we kind of like designed the AM trying to be the market neutral, but right now we found that at the funding time, actually, it still participate in the market, although it's not really taking the market risk. I think that's a good thing, but it still, takes some risk. So we are actually working with DeFi Digital on this. So we want to, we actually have like lots of different ideas, try to kind of neutralize, this like funding payment issue. One of the thoughts is that we actually create two classes of open interest. So there's a general open interest, just like just like long and short position that you can open on Perpetual Protocol right now. And we are actually want to introduce another kind of open interest that so if you open a position using this, using this another instrument, you actually got paid by interest. So it's interest bearing like the instrument. The time we remove you from the funding payment. So that's remember I say that SYK. So because there are lots of people like participate in perpetual market, but they are not really. I mean, they are here trying to earn the funding rate, try to do arbitrage. Maybe they are. I mean, maybe they are not so sensitive. I mean, like maybe not sensitive. They are not so. I mean, maybe removing the funding rate is actually good for them. So I think if we can have different kinds of, I mean, like instrument for open interest, we actually remove and actually remove them from the funding payment. We actually help the system to operate. I mean, with more kind of a balanced funding payment. So the insurance fund doesn't really pay out so much. That's one way. The second thoughts we have is that we try to, we don't use SYK. So SYK has this, I mean, it's good or bad. I mean, like it has a lot of advantage, but also disadvantage to our system. So maybe we can find another way, another curve that try to replace the SYK. But most of the idea that replace it actually creates, I mean, P&L to the insurance fund. So that's another risk. That's actually the direction we are going to right now. And hopefully we can have like some conclusion soon and then start implement this. Yeah. Next slide. Yeah, so I think that's, I just want to quickly walk through the insurance fund problem. I mean, first. So for this community code that I also want to, I mean, like talk about the native staking that we are going to launch this week. And I think we already have the proposal up, and then I think we have been discussing this for the last week. And I think we will launch it for like 3 weeks and then see how it goes. But the plan is we just put in like 150K per weekly for the stakers. So it's a staking rewards. So we just like welcome all the perp holders can stake their token. Staking the token, I mean, there's a lockup, so you cannot withdraw within 14 days. But we provide the rewards and the fees. So we will, I mean, at the start, we don't have the fee sharing because that's more complicated. But have that. But I think in total, I mean, the staker will share the part of that is, I mean, it's actually unlocked right away, and then the other, I mean, half of that, not half, the other part of that will be claimable in 6 months. Yeah. Next slide. And this is just like a quick overview of the next program roadmap. So I think this, hopefully we can, I mean, we can do this like as fast as possible, but this is just a prioritized list that we are working on right now. So of course, the first thing is that we want to ship is native staking. It should be this week. And the transaction fees to the stakers that I just talked about, it should be like in several weeks. Partial liquidation because of the flash crash happened like several weeks ago. So we actually have this ready. So it's ready to deploy after the native staking. So we probably will do this week or next. Personal cap, we set the personal cap like not really a high number, but it actually creates some problem for people who run the arbitrager bot. So we want to increase this after the native staking. So the same this week or next week, the personal cap will be increased. The front-end team also work on the layer 2 web interface. So what it means is that, so right now we use a technique that people sign the transaction on actually people use MetaMask, I mean, on ETH, but we actually send the transaction to XDAI and execute on XDAI. What we want to do is that we have another interface just for XDAI, so people who are familiar with XDAI can use that interface directly. And I think that's also make it easier if we want to, I mean, like work on other layer 2 solution in the future. Yep. The next one is the referral program. So we are working on a referral program, trying to, let our current current community member, give the reward to the members who can bring in more users. So that's something hopefully we can bring in more users trading on perpetual protocols. Yeah. Next slide. Yep, I think that's everything I found the team that for the past few weeks. So if you have any questions, you can just put in the chat, and then I can answer the question.
We'll give everyone a few minutes to type in their question. I'm sure it takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it probably, I just try to go through it pretty quick. So yeah, if there's things that, hard to understand, please let me know that I can go in more detail.
Maybe I can start with one small question. Oh, we do have a question. It says, why are there some fixed amounts always buy and sell? Do we know the answer to this? I think what they mean is there's some trades that are always the same size.
Really? I think, yeah. I didn't check this. I think that maybe some people, they have a bot, they do this. On the market, on the first day, I don't really think that. Hold on, let me just.
I'm wondering. I think the user might be Honda is maybe referring to perp price on other exchanges like Binance. Which exchange are you talking about?
Oh.
If it's on an exchange that's not perp.exchange, then we have no idea. Only that exchange would maybe have some idea what their users are doing.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Yeah, I don't know as well. Yeah. Yeah, if it's on perp.exchange, I think that's easier to maybe you have some idea, but actually I don't know. I'm not sure because we are not the only one who trade on perp.exchange.
Yeah, so the question was about Binance, and for Binance, I guess maybe there's some market makers or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Yeah.
All right, so we do have a second question from Eddie S. Will there be a lock period for staking perp?
Yes, there are. So it's 14 days. So once you want to withdraw, there is a 14 days lockup. So we have a proposal on. We actually have the proposal on the. If Shane, can you go back several slides, maybe 2 slides? So we have a link there. So if you guys, so there's a proposal, so more detail there, but it's 14 days. So you can, once you start withdrawal, you can, you start the withdrawal process, you have to wait 14 days until you get the tokens.
Yeah, just to make sure that everybody is clear, this means that after you stake the tokens, you can unstake the token, and when you choose to unstake the token, from that point you will have to wait 14 days to actually receive for the unlock to finish. So definitely when you're staking, keep that in mind, that you will have at least a 14-day waiting period to unlock the tokens. And while we're waiting for another question, maybe Yenwen, do you want to give some more like background on why there's a lock period after you stake?
Oh, that's a good question. The main reason is that I mean the staker provides like some security to the system. So so actually I mean like so our insurance fund, so we have like 1.3 or more 4 million there, and like I said, there is a chance that the insurance fund will decrease, and once once it's depleted, I mean we will mint more perp token, but at the same time, we want to kind of like lock most of the perp token in the system, so that we kind of like reduce the price fluctuation. So I think that's the main reason. There are different ways to do this. One way is to burn the token. So kind of like, once people stake and like Aave, I mean, people stake and then once there is something happen, they burn the token from the staker. We try to avoid that, at least for now. I mean, I think minting probably works. Yeah, but I mean, just the design decision that I mean, like we will mint more token, but lock the token. I think that's most. I mean, most of the staking system has this. So that's kind of like. I mean, we have to make sure. I mean, kind of like provide the security to the system. Yeah.
I think it's also important to keep in mind that the chance of this kind of event is very, very low. Like it would be a pretty huge event to have the insurance fund deplete, and we don't expect really this to ever happen. It's just sort of a last resort option that we have to secure the protocol.
Yeah.
So we actually have a couple more questions. Again, from Honda, he said, what about staking on Binance, sort of like a staking service, which is actually a pretty interesting question.
I actually, I think we focus on the stake, I mean, naked staking that we are going to push out this week. So let me think about this. Maybe we can contact them and then ask about this, but we didn't really ask them about this. Yeah. But oh yeah, I think yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's possible, but we have no plan for this right now. But maybe in the future we can look into that. And I think maybe even Binance could do it without our input. I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's a permissionless thing they could do if they wanted to offer that service. So we have another question from Han1. It says 150K per week is only 27% APR if all circulating supply is staked. Is this inflation really enough to incentivize people to stake?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the first thing is that we don't know how many people will stake. I think of course we can suppose that 100% will stake, but I think that's really a high staking like percentage to our system. So so right now we are just guessing that 50% of the circulating supply will stake, but we never know. But to be honest, I think that this is for staking. I mean, we are not really I mean, trying to do a kind of like fair launch or anything like that is for long term. So I personally don't think that we can keep like maintaining several 100% APR for a long time. Uh, but anyway, I think once like only half of people stake, the APR will be like over 50%. I think it's still very good for kind of like I mean like for, I mean the API is still good for the protocol like us. I mean, because I think the risk is really not that high compared to others. Yeah. I mean, like compared to others means that the other like derivative protocol, they ask you to become the LP, but LP also have, I mean, probably have losses. But in our system, I think the I mean the the chance is really high for you to take the loss, and then we don't really burn the token. So in theory, you're not taking any loss. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's just my answer. We probably can increase or decrease the 150K perp. This is just for kind of like a test launch to see what's the number that's good to the protocol for the long term. So yeah, that's the number we want to start with.
Okay, great. And we have a next question at the moment. It says, excited for your staking program. Sorry if I missed it. When is staking going live? Actually, we didn't mention the exact date in this call yet, so you didn't miss anything. But we do expect staking to be live this week. Our original promise was Q1 2020, and we expect to keep that promise. So keep your eye open, keep watching our Twitter, and you'll see the announcement pretty soon. All right, the next question we have is, why as soon as released on Binance, we never have seen that growth? This is a good question. Personally, I think the reason is, I mean, the launch on Binance really didn't match with any new announcements that we have or new things that we're starting. So we're still in a period of like pretty intense development, and we haven't really launched anything new yet. So I think that's one of the reasons people were excited it launched on Binance, but there's no like, major advances in our fundamentals. But upcoming, we do have a bunch of new features that we're launching, including staking and other features that were mentioned in this call. So yeah, I think the future is very, very interesting. But yeah, the Binance, it's just people got excited, but yeah, the growth is more to come.
Yeah, I also want to add to that. So the final launch, actually, I mean, it's kind of like interesting because I think that, I mean, like actually I take the day off when you launch, and so there are lots of questions. I think this is, I mean, we don't really control that process. I mean, Binance control that. So, I mean, we are always focused on the building. So, so I think there is a lot of price fluctuation at that time, and there are lots of people, I mean, talking about this in the community. But I just want to be clear that the team token has not unlocked yet. So actually, most of the token are, I mean, like just the token we released before. So we don't, I mean, like just want to make sure that everyone understands this, that because I personally, we spend a lot of time building this. I mean, like day in, day out. So I think it's a little bit unfair to, I mean, every time there's a crash, and then people just say that the team dump on us, and then I mean we just want to make it clear that we don't have token to dump. It's just like I mean it's not in our plan for the Binance launch. That's all the exchange, they launch whenever they want. It's not like we want to list at certain time, so they take the control. They have more bargaining power. Yeah.
Yeah. Well said. The next question we have is just a clarification of the staking lock period. You stake for a minimum of 14 days, and then when you unlock, it will take another 14 days to unlock. It's basically correct. When you stake, you can stake for as long or as short a time as you want. And then when you unstake, then a timer will start that's 14 days. And after the 14 days, you will receive the tokens will unlock. So basically, the staking period is flexible. It can be half an hour or 10 days or 2 months. But as soon as you unstake, then you have to wait 14-day period. Okay, the next question is, Honda saw the price was at 17, but he never saw that. Yes, I guess there was a peak at 17 on Binance, or maybe other markets as well. Just some really excited people, I guess. And, maybe it'll be back at that point one day, maybe not. We really don't know. I think the key thing to remember with the Perp token is it's really more designed for a long-term growth. When you have the token, you can earn some income from the token. So I would say the income you can earn from the token is actually more interesting than the increase in the price. But for sure, before you buy any token, doesn't matter if it's Perp or any token at all, you should make sure to research the project, understand what the project is about, and understand, all the fundamentals behind it. And then you can make a good decision on, whether you want to buy it or not. All right, so it says the next question from PPP is the native XDAI UI will come out. Does that mean Perp will also deploy on BSC more easily? And will we consider that? I don't know if it will make it easier to deploy on BSC, but maybe Tempo, you want to add something, or Ian, sorry, you want to add something to this?
Yes, I think this definitely make it easier to deploy on BSC. And are we considering it? Yes, we are, but we also consider, lots of other opportunities. I think people, we just, want to test it out for different solutions. So the things we are looking at right now, so we look at Arbitrum for the layer 2. The ETH layer 2, of course, BSC is interesting. And also, I think we talk about Phantom. Yeah, because the whole Yearn system are kind of behind it. I think that, but it's really hard to say that because we, the resource is kind of constrained. But I think that if we have something, we will announce and we will ask for feedback from the community.
Yeah, so for sure, if you have other ideas about, if it's a good idea to launch on BSC or Optimism or some other thing, you're welcome to come to our Discord and discuss with us. We love to talk to all our users about this kind of future plans. So definitely, come to our Discord and your voice will be heard. Okay, the next question again from Honda, very active question proposer. Thank you for all your questions. It says, what's your marketing plan? That's a great question. Yeah, we have several people on our marketing team and we're working hard every day to come up with the best plans that we can. So far, we feel like a lot of the things we've been doing haven't been as effective as we want. So we're looking to try out some new and different ideas. We've received some different ideas from community members as well recently in the last week. So yeah, we're looking forward to trying out all kinds of different ways of finding more people to come and trade on our platform. And again, if you have ideas about marketing, we'd love to hear from you. So just come to our Discord and chat with us. We'd love to hear from you. All right, it looks like we have no other questions at the moment. We'll give everybody another minute or two to answer some, to type in their question if they want. All right, if there's no other questions, I think we'll wrap it up. Thanks everybody for coming. If you have further questions that weren't answered here, or you think of them later, just come to our Discord, let us know. Or we also have a Telegram group. You can let us know, and our DMs are open on Twitter also if you want to contact us that way. We'd love to hear from users, and we'd love to answer questions. So just let us know. As usual in our community call, we have like a surprise airdrop at the end. So if you want to receive the airdrop, please paste your address into the chat. Put your wallet address in the chat, and we'll send you some free perp later after the call. So we'll leave the chat open for a little while to give everybody a chance to put in their address. And yeah, thanks a lot for coming. It's been great. It's great to see quite a pretty good attendance this time. And we look forward to talking with you more in the future.